All right. We're just starting this meeting at 7:01 p.m., 7 p.m. And what were your guys' ideas or products?
You want to start, Ben, and then I'll go, and then Sean?
Yeah, I'll go.
Cool.
So I had a, let me see. I want to do a kind of a viral video, educational video, but like viral. So it'll be towards millennials so they understand what transfer would be. Because like in school, I never knew what transfer was. And in the video, it'll be showing them like how professionals use the schoolwork they learned in their jobs or what skills like transferred over to the jobs. That's my first idea. And the second idea I wanted to do like a board game where like you have to finish like a puzzle or something, and after you finish that puzzle, you get a role, like a certain job in the board game, and you have to transfer those skills from the puzzle to the role you have in the game. And those are my two ideas.
That's pretty cool.
What about you?
I think I kind of misunderstood the assignment. So I basically just identified a problem that I thought all three of these existed in, but I didn't really know how to, create a product idea or service that could contribute to that. So I talked about like obesity and like the rate that we consume processed foods and fats and everything like that, and how America as a whole is going up in weight. And then I wanted to create, I was thinking of it in the sense like create or find a problem that you can use all three of those to fix that problem. And I didn't really have an answer for that. So I was kind of thinking like, I don't know, I was thinking about like integration, which this kind of exists already, but I feel like it's not done very well, but integration with like schools and stuff to help educate students. And then like if you get them at a young age, then those skills are going to transfer into adulthood. And then the conceptual blend piece, I didn't really know. Like I was thinking a conceptual blend for that problem would be like how technology kind of contributes to bad diet and lack of exercise. So like two ideas kind of combine to create that problem. But as far as a solution, I mean, I think for the most part, it's a identifiable problem that our country's been working on. I just feel like there hasn't really been a great solution. So I thought, I honestly I couldn't think of one off the top of my head. I thought just kind of bouncing it off you guys might be able to contribute to something like that.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I was thinking for that discussion.
It sounds like just off the top of my head, like kind of generally the same idea as like the DARE program.
Yeah.
Or like
like I mentioned in my writing too, No Child Left Behind.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same concept. I just felt like it's one of those things that hasn't really been successful or extremely successful.
Like what was the recent one? Like Play 60?
Yeah, Play 60, stuff like that.
Yeah. Seems like we all kind of interpreted this assignment like three different ways. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because like my ideas were in the form of like products, I guess, or technology. Like I had one that was there was a facial recognition for like animal, like pet doors. It could go along with home security. It would kind of like a grocery store automatic door. When it recognizes your pet, it would open, for a little bit, then close. It could be hooked up to your Wi-Fi. And you have access to it on your phone. If you forget your keys or something like that, you can disable it and open the door or whatever. But just another home security, called convenience type thing.
So the integration is like home security and convenience for like pets and everything.
Yeah, I guess that would be kind of a conceptual blend too. But my other thing was, and I guess they kind of already have this. Some insurance companies have it, but it's like a device that'll come with, come with new cars that track driving habits. And if because there's cops all around, but they're not always there. They're not catching everyone. So let's say you drive more than 2 miles without a seatbelt on. That would like give you a point or whatever, and you get 30 of those, and then it would just send you like an automatic ticket from the local police department. And if you have no infractions like for 3 months, then it would reset your points. You could do like speeding, just general reckless driving, red lights and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
that's kind of what I had.
Yeah, I like that. That's good because you're right. It does exist in like insurance companies tracking your driving. But what you did that, to my knowledge, doesn't exist is involve it with like police departments, law enforcement, safety of citizens,
Just kind
state
of like,
law, all that stuff.
yeah, like kind of free up police to be doing more important stuff than
Than just writing traffic tickets. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
another thing too is it creates accountability because like people can't really, they can't really like say, "Oh, I didn't do that,"
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people die from speeding, so I think it'd be good.
Yeah. You know
So,
what's funny, Sean, too, is so I ended up only writing
mhm.
one option for this, not two. But I was actually thinking for my other option, talking about like the seatbelt issue as a problem. Because when I was growing up, we had like 3 or 4 kids from my school pass away in accidents.
Yeah.
So that was one of the second ideas I was going to write about, and I just couldn't think of a way to incorporate integration and all that stuff. But that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the car ideas. So, how would the next question on the writing report is how does it demonstrate integration, conceptual blend, or transfer? My 2 ideas, I did mine on transfer because I did one on explaining what transfer is, and then another one's a game about transfer.
Right.
I didn't do conceptual blend or integration.
Yeah, I feel like mine demonstrates transfer, and that kids are taking those habits and applying it to their later life. So it's a transfer of knowledge on the kids' part, but I mean, I don't really have a technology or a solution in place yet. So I don't really know what if we did go with that one. I don't know what it would represent. It depends on what we came up with, but yeah, and then the conceptual blend between like technology and obesity. I thought those were kind of two. I mean, they're sort of relevant and related, but they're a little bit different from each other. So I could see that being a conceptual blend. But as far as the innovation or the product, I don't have one, so I can't really apply it. But
yeah, this one, I thought it was going to be like easy. Oh yeah, just think of an invention idea. Then I sat there for like an hour, just like totally blank.
It's actually a lot more difficult than you think it is, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, oh, I can come up with a couple ideas pretty quick. But then when I like got into it and I started like actually thinking of ideas, I'm like, wait, that already exists. Wait, that already exists. Like everything already exists.
Yep.
It's tough to be an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so come up with a product idea or service solution. So we need to come up with a specific product idea or service. We're choosing out of these, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can, or if we think we can think of a new one in the amount of time we got.
We can try to think of a new one. like we were just talking about, I think it's actually pretty difficult. I personally I like Sean's about the seatbelt,
Yeah, I
the
like it.
technology for the seatbelt stuff, or not just seatbelts, but tickets in general. To kind of transform minute traffic tickets into something that's more automated rather than wasting taxpayer money and salary to go out and
Yeah.
have cops do that on a daily basis. I think that actually solves a lot of problems.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So for that example, Sean, what do you think are some of the ways that it represents integration, conceptual blends, or transfers?
Um, I have to think about the transfer one, but I think it blends, kind of technology with automated, not policing, but like some of the roles that police officers do that, they won't have to use as many resources on that anymore. And I guess integrative, not solves, but it helps the problem of, people, because I'm sure you guys have heard awesome things about Tucson drivers. um, just, people with bad driving habits in general can kind of
Snowbirds.
curb that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I was thinking too for transfers. I just thought of this, but uh, the software itself, like you said, it already kind of exists in the insurance world for people's driving habits, like how hard they're accelerating, how hard they're braking, stuff like
Yeah.
that, to get them deductible or not deductibles to take money off of their insurance rates. So in a sense, that's transfer because we're taking that technology from another field and applying it into the world of policing and law enforcement. So I think that's transfer in and of itself. It's just kind of tweaking that technology a little bit to make it more law enforcement friendly than insurance friendly.
Yeah.
So, but then also, this is just, I mean, this isn't really part of the side note, but one of the difficult things is the logistics behind it. Like how do you get a system like that in every single vehicle?
Right. It would kind of, I guess it would have to be with new cars moving forward. It'd be kind of hard to retrofit the, older cars with it.
So you'd get like grandfathered in, and
Yeah.
then all the newer cars, like based on a federal law or a state law, have to have that technology installed on it.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I
then,
think that's fair because it's like safety features. Like in safety features, there's certain safety features that the manufacturer has to provide. So in a
yeah,
sense, that is a safety feature, right? So creating that, making that, like a federal law saying you have to have that. I don't think it's beyond reason to require that because it's really just a high tech safety feature,
yeah,
versus just a little seatbelt to help protect you.
yeah.
Like
I
this
don't
is
know how do you think it would like affect with private resale of cars and stuff? Because some people they never buy new cars. It's always secondhand stuff.
Yeah, but at some point I think like I don't know, maybe like you're grandfathered in for the next 20 years and then you get in 20 years you get to the point where either people have really old beaters or they're restoring cars, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
At that point, like once you hit that 20-year threshold, you could just mandate it and say like you have to have it installed to drive your vehicle on the streets because you've given them 20 years. That's a pretty reasonable amount of time.
yeah. So then the people with the new cars with the technology, would they be um, like immune to the penalties for the 20 years that it takes the other people to get that?
What do you mean by that?
Like, people with new cars, they're driving, have the technology, potentially getting, strikes and tickets, while people who are driving the older cars are not being subjected to
They're
that.
getting away with it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah,
know how
that's
that would be
difficult.
regulated.
Yeah. Do you think you could do it on like? You think you could track the driving habits like with an app, like on your phone? No.
I think you could probably have it show up on your phone. I don't know, dude, but honestly, some of the app technology nowadays, you never know. It's probably possible. But
Yeah.
as far as like seatbelts and stuff, I don't think there's any way for it to track it.
Yeah, it would have to be
you're
like
right.
in the car
Mhm.
Yeah.
because you could, if it's on your phone, what if you're riding with a friend, or you don't turn the app on, or
Yeah.
how does it know if you're driving, or whatever.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was
I
just
think those are
thinking.
some of the logistical problems, but overall, like the concept is, I think, would be efficient in solving a lot of the traffic problems. It'd probably lower the accident rates. It'd probably lower the amount of deaths per year in vehicles. It would probably be a really, really, really good technology and not solve just one problem, but solve multiple, right? Because then at that point, you can take away thousands of dollars in tax money for police officers to be out writing traffic tickets. I mean, and also in playing devil's advocate, they generate a lot of revenue from writing traffic tickets. So
Yeah, I mean, but I think when they used to have the cameras on the freeway, the speed cams, like
yeah,
those are all going to private corporations, right?
yeah,
But this could be city revenue still.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, they're still getting tickets. They're still getting revenue. So I guess that revenue stream doesn't really go away, but we do save money by not having police officers out there
Yeah.
24 hours a day monitoring little traffic violations. They can focus their time and energy on things that really matter, like crime and all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess I just thought of another thing, like kind of devil's advocate against it. What if you're speeding or whatever, and your car flagged you, you got a strike, and the cop pulls you over? Would you get double, or you could just say, look, like it already got me?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like with how automated things are, if you're gonna create a system that goes in every vehicle, it would probably be integrated enough to work with the police officers' equipment, simultaneously, just update in their system if something came up or whatever.
Mm,
I don't know. I guess it depends too on how many points they have against them.
right.
So
Mm.
And also, I think when electric cars start coming out, I think it's easier for electric cars to integrate this uh, stripe system.
yeah,
I think so
Yeah,
too.
yeah, it'll be better for the economy too.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So we don't have to keep drilling into the earth and
Pulling
uh,
out oil.
yeah, ruin our earth, our planet.
Yep.
Mhm. Yes, I mean, do we just need to come up with one idea this week for?
I think that, right? Is it just one idea out of all of ours?
Yes.
Narrow it down?
Mhm. Yeah, I'm looking right now.
Yeah. Discuss clearly how it represents one of the three types of integrations. Um, Less concerned about the brilliance of the idea than I am how you get a good handle on how it represents integration.
So if we had to choose one, because I think it represents kind of all three of those in its own way. If we had to choose one that it represents more powerfully than the others, what would you guys say?
Um, repeat the question. Sorry.
Like if you had to choose one out of those three, integration, conceptual, blend, or transfer, what do you think this one shows more of?
Integration, because you have to. What's your guys' definition of integration, real quick?
I just think it might be integration because isn't integration more about problem solving?
Yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. Like working together to solve a problem or combining to solve a problem, combining efforts to solve a problem.
Seeing it from the different perspectives.
I think they all three apply to it, but yeah, I think integration probably applies the strongest.
Yeah, agree with that.
Yeah, I agree too.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at number 5. Identify the different kinds of knowledge and expertise your group would have to make this product, idea, service, task, or solution a reality. What are the individual elements that make it up that you are somehow combining? What kinds of people, training, what kinds of knowledge would needed to make this a reality? What would you have to master from the old ways of thinking and doing things in order to make sure that your deliverable is effective? Basically, the first 3 questions ask you to creatively apply integration and its cousins to make the real world better. The fourth question points out that integration always depends on previously existing skills, knowledge, and training. Another way to say that is creativity depends on familiarity and what already exists, even if it has an eye on what could be. So number 5, that sounds like it's kind of what we already talked about.
Mhm.
Um, what kind of knowledge and expertise would we need to make this product work?
I think you would need to have like a big company like Tesla or something start incorporating it into their vehicles.
Yeah, you'd have to have all the major automakers incorporate that. And I guess
Yeah.
too, like even like the international ones, if they're shipping a vehicle to the United States, it would have to be it would have to have that equipment installed on it.
Mhm.
And then you'd have to have, I mean, us specifically, there would have to be some kind of company that we can have create the technology um, to provide to all those automakers as well.
Yeah. They would have to, be in cooperation with local law enforcement and maybe, I don't know, military. I don't know.
Yeah, there'd have to be some kind of computer system that can talk to that equipment and kind of be automated instantaneously, get updates from it so that they know like this is what's going on, this is where it happened at. Anytime there's like an infraction like that, they kind of get a little. So yeah, computer knowledge would be ideal. Knowing how to
Yeah.
create programs and stuff like that that can manage that. And just creating that baseline infrastructure, and then the equipment itself, like we would have to have someone that knows enough about cars and how they work and the computer systems on board to be able to track that stuff. You could probably piggyback off the insurance companies and just go to whoever makes the equipment for them and say, hey, we want to use the same thing but put a little spin on it, and then integrate it with the police officers' computer systems so that they can see it, or maybe the court system's computer system so that they can actually send the tickets or keep track of the points.
You
So that's
also
one way.
also you need politicians to like pass the law or whatever,
Yep.
and government to be in on it too. That knowledge of the law and stuff and the bills.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things that seems like it'd be difficult to do on the state level. It'd probably have to be something that's more on the federal level, just
Yeah.
because to have automakers make different cars for every single state. I mean, I guess that kind of already happens with the different requirements that states have for like emissions and everything, but I don't know.
Yeah. I guess what happens when you like drive, take a trip to another state
Yeah.
with the technology, like with the point system, transfer over to the new state laws, or would you be driving under the old ones?
Yeah, and that goes too with how they're ticketed. Like if you think about it, traffic violations are ticketed at the state or even the city level, right?
Yeah.
You have like a highway patrolman, it's probably at the state level. If you have a sheriff, it's at the county level. If you have a Tucson Police Department, it's at the city level. So you have all these different levels who I'm just assuming, I don't know, their systems probably don't work together all that well. And then you have all these different court systems whose systems probably don't work together all that well. So that's a whole beast itself, is to integrate all of those separate entities so that they can kind of track that on the same level. Because otherwise, like if we implement the law on a federal level, then sending those tickets, like little traffic tickets, would be done at a federal level.
Yeah.
So that's kind of outrageous. I guess you'd have to kind of integrate the state system so that like it can cross over where the vehicle's at. Or I don't know, maybe like you could create a boundary on the state and say, hey, when this vehicle enters that boundary, then it transfers into that county's jurisdiction, and then the ticket goes through them. That's probably more doable based off of like GPS or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Seems like a big undertaking, but I don't know. You know, at one point, you know, OnStar was just like a fantasy. I got that going pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. What do you guys think about like having like a tiny robot in your car that like films everything and tracks your speed and seatbelt and whatnot?
Yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
he'll just talk to you and be like, slow down.
Yeah. Because in the future, I think it'd be easier to apply a robot than changing every car. Because that would take time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only problem though is that like if it's not done at the government level, like the state or the federal level, then it's hard to keep people accountable for actually having equipment in their vehicle.
Yeah.
So if you leave it up to the automakers to install that stuff when the vehicle comes out, then like yeah, the cost of the vehicle might go up a little bit, but at the end of the day, then everybody that gets a new vehicle is going to have it because we force the automakers to have it.
And probably would have to, yeah, like you said, have all automakers have it, because that would be like if some had it and some don't, you know, people would just buy the cars without it.
But I think like on an international level, I think they already adjust what cars have based on where they're going, where they're getting shipped to. Like, I mean, obviously in Europe, the steering wheel is going to be on the opposite side of the car. So just little stuff like that. It probably wouldn't be that hard for them to incorporate a standard like that. But what are the individual elements that make it up that you are somehow combining? So yeah, we talked about, I think we already kind of covered that, the integration with the police department systems and the equipment itself, and then government, like Ben said, having government integrate with us.
Yeah.
What kinds of people trained and what kinds of knowledge would be needed to make this idea a reality?
A lot of IT and coders and
Engineers.
IT coders. You could probably use like people at the court level, get them on board with like how to integrate them with the court systems. You could probably get people that worked on all this stuff with the insurance companies, bring them over to help work on it, kind of just hijack them since they're already familiar with technology that's similar to it.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah.
You also need like
a lot of options.
people and like the repair shops in on it too to like fix it or not.
Yeah, that's another thing too, is maintenance.
And maybe schools too, like driving schools to teach you how to drive with this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you have to master from the old ways of thinking and doing things in order to make sure that your deliverable is effective?
Maybe use the media.
Yeah. Yeah, can't really think of an answer for that one.
What would you have to master from the old ways of thinking and doing things in order to make sure that, in order for it to be effective?
I guess one thing is like when we drive our car now, we don't like we in the back of our mind we think about breaking the law, right? Like we think like, yeah, we shouldn't speed, or yeah, we should put our seatbelt on, but we kind of look at it like if we get caught, then we get in trouble. And that's kind of like the old way of thinking, where like the if this was to be installed on vehicles, the new way of thinking would kind of have to be like, if I don't do this, I will get caught, instead of if I don't do this, I might get caught. So
Right.
it kind of it's the whole concept would kind of change to like, yeah, this is for sure I'm going to get caught, versus if a cop pulls me over, I'll get caught. That's kind of, I guess, the mindset would have to change in that regard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it would, I don't know about you guys, but anytime a car, pulls behind me real close, I always like, oh crap, like, is that a cop behind me? I check my speed, sometimes, you slow down abruptly. But so if people aren't always checking for cops because they're monitored through their own car, that might make for safer driving too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're not like constantly looking in their rear view, or like, or like if you're driving down the road and you're going 55 in a 40, and then you see a cop and you slam on your brake, well, that's a
Yeah.
dangerous situation right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true.
Yeah, and cops don't have to worry about it anymore. They don't have to think about it. Focus on the other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they got bigger fish to fry than a seatbelt ticket.
Yep.
And honestly, it's getting to the point now too, like there's so many fatalities over stuff like this that like it almost seems like it's something that we should really take seriously, making a change to that. Because, dude, I've seen so many people die in car accidents from not wearing a seatbelt or driving too fast or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's actually a really good idea, Sean. I actually really like that idea.
Well, thanks. Um,
Well, cool. Do you guys see anything that we should circle back to or touch on?
I think we got it.
I think so.
Yeah, it feels a little bit short, but I think we kind of came in with um, an easy choice on which one to choose. Well, maybe not an easy choice, but we had a good choice up front to run off of, so it made this kind of easy.
Yeah, it's better for the world too.
Yeah. Cool, guys. Well, Friday, 7.
Yep, same time.
Yeah. Do you want to do it again, Ben or Sean? You want to do it?
Yeah, I'm down to do it again. I just post the video on the YouTube, right, and post it on the community forum.
Yeah, just do like if you go to your YouTube account and click upload.
Yeah.
And then when it uploads, I clicked unscripted, and then if you put unscripted on the drop down, then it doesn't show up on your YouTube. It just hides it, but it'll give you a link to the video, and then you just copy and paste that link in the community forum.
All right, cool.
All right, cool,
Sounds
man.
good,
So
guys.
7 p.m. next Friday.
Yep.
Works for me.
Sweet, guys. All right, take care.
Yep.
All right.
See you
Have
guys.
a good week, you guys.
Take care.